this video is probably because you're considering rebranding yourself, but you don't know specifically if you should. And if you are considering a rebrand, you need some guidance on what you should do to get started. So we're going to hop right in. When is it time for a rebrand? It's time for a rebrand when there is a change or alteration in your values, your imaging, your mission, or just overall your messaging that you are expressing to the world. So if that has changed or there's an alteration to that no longer matches what you are currently putting out to the world, then it's time to shift gears. Or if you just feel like things need to be updated because, like me, maybe you weren't keeping things updated as, life was going on and life was changing. So now it's almost like time for an overhaul. That's when you need to do a rebrand. I believe like most rebranding happens between 3 to 5 years. I hit my 4-year mark. Boom, here's the rebrand. August of 2024. The new website is launched with LATRICE 3.0. And some of those life changes that I went through that resulted in that rebrand are significant. 2022, I got out the military. I started my YouTube channel when I was in the military. There was some content about my military lifestyle. I used to do car chronicles. I deployed to Poland in 2017, so there was a lot of content about my travels and just what I was doing while I was deployed. So it's safe to say that the military was a huge part of my growth as an influencer, as a content creator. Once I got out the Army in 2022, I was like, bro, can I still leverage the military even though I'm no longer serving active duty? Once I finally got out, I found a job. I decided like, okay, let me take a look at my website. The website launched in 2020. It had been 2 years and there had been no updates. Like I wasn't continuously keeping it updated like I should have. I didn't ever do like a branding anything. Like I just took old photos that I had and I was like, here, like make something with it. And I wish I would have been more intentional back then about actually doing photo shoots that made sense for my brand at the time, but I just didn't. But the website was cute, you know what I'm saying? It was cute or whatever, but it just now didn't fully embody like where I wanted to go, just basically where I was headed. I was working corporate project management, so that's an experience that I wanted to start to share. I just bought a new house, so yes, home decor, getting into different projects and decorating the house and traveling a little bit more, visiting and being around my family and my friends. Y'all didn't get to see a lot of that because I was always in different places that I didn't have family like centrally located at. So now I get to really like boom, blossom and show you all like who I am authentically, like fully. Don't get me wrong, I was always authentic to me, but I couldn't show you everything, mainly because of the military, like what I was restricted in saying, as well as like my family issues. All that is changing with LATRICE 3.0. What can you expect during the process of your rebrand? A lot of your time and energy and effort will be spent on getting the details right. You are going to ensure that you give this your all because this will be your baby for the next however long it takes for your website to launch. While you will have a designer, you will have a developer, you may have a team that's going to work with you, this is still your brand. Copywriting a website may not be something that you're very good at, but y'all, ChatGPT works well. ChatGPT, just know your prompts, know what you're talking about, know your brand, plug it in there and have them help you out with curating some of your copyright if you can't afford one. And if you can afford one, then use them or do it yourself if you're a great writer in general, okay? But what I didn't know was that you're going to need a copywriter. Some of the web designers, like the ones I looked into, did not have like copywriters on their staff. So just know that that may be either an additional expense, photo shoots and other unrelated expenses outside of the development are time and money that you also want to account for. If your developer does a good job, they're already telling you that those things are included or not included. Okay, so be sure to keep that in mind and understand like where your money is gonna go, because I spent about 13K altogether, like clothes, hair, makeup, photographer, videographer, developer. But that's because I'm a convenience girl, right? Like I did not want to be stressed out during this time, so I decided to outsource some things versus doing them myself. But on the other hand, my friend who used the same designer, she opted to do some of the things herself. She saved money. So just keep that in mind and try to budget for that. Should you hire someone to help you with your rebrand? I have a lot of things that I want to do, but I also realized that because I was working at 8 to 5, that I did not necessarily have the time to do it, nor did I have the skill. Like I'm not a web designer. I'm not necessarily like a marketer. Like I didn't go to school for that, but you know, I got my little bits and pieces from being a content creator. I decided that that was what I needed, and I needed to invest in that. What should you look for when you are searching for a designer or someone to facilitate your rebrand? So number one, what services do they offer and how does the process work? So you want to get an idea of how long it's going to take to low-key produce what you are asking for. Two, how much is this going to cost me? In the consultation, in my opinion, they should be able to tell you based off of what you've communicated, what they think is the best approach for your web design and for your brand in general. So they should have already a proposal that outlines what's included. I always recommend getting a few options, right? Getting a few quotes and seeing what those quotes consist of and going back and asking questions. I did a compare and contrast, like, okay, you cost this much and you provide these services, you cost this much and you provide these services. Let's compare. And then I communicate with each developer and I'm saying, what is this? What is this? Can you do this? Like, you know, it helped me to make sure I got the best bang for my buck. And then from there, I think you can base your decision off of who you vibed with, because you're going to have a very intimate connection with the developer and the developer's team. So it's important that at least initially you feel like you and that person will get along and that they have a good communication style. So keep that in mind. Y'all, I literally went down a rabbit hole. I Googled like Black female web designers, Black female freelance web designers, like for rebrand specifically, or who could do web design, etc. And I did some extensive research. Like I found a few articles and I ended up finding my web designer, Tiffany of the Emma Rose agency, and another designer, and I can't remember her name, but if I remember it, I'll put it on the screen. But I found another designer too, and I had a consultation with them because they were the only ones that I was really like, yeah, like this is my vibe. Like their portfolio met and matched what I was expecting. I hit them up, we did a consultation, and I'm really big on energy. So I felt like the energy with Tiffany matched what I was going for. And I determined that what she would do for me would be customized to me. So I ended up going with Tiffany, no regrets, because the website turned out great. And not only did she curate the website, but now I actually have a brand identity. And that leads me to my next thing. What shouldn't you do before hiring your designer or developer? I made the mistake of doing a rebrand shoot prior to identifying my brand identity and hiring a developer. I was just thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do this rebrand shoot and then I'm gonna send this stuff to whoever the designer is and they just gonna work with that. Mind you, the pics was fire. Everything was fire. But I was taking all like portrait style pictures. So a lot of this, the developer was like, work better with like wide angle pictures. So basically I spent a good bit of chunk of monies on a photo shoot that I didn't use for its purpose, which was for the website. There were some photos that I did use, but that was shoot number one. I don't recommend doing much related to the actual website design unless you're doing something like your brand identity or your brand aesthetic prior to, because maybe your web designer is just a web designer and they're not doing like brand identity stuff. Cool. Then you should do that before you get your web designer. But as far as like copyright, doing a photo shoot, buying clothes, all that stuff. Wait until you've had that conversation with your web designer or your developer, especially if they're like a holistic brand like the agency that I use. Just wait on that so you're not spending additional money. What are some things that I also did while my designer was developing or designing? I did a lot of work on the business operations side. So I was making templates. By templates, I mean like email templates and other templates that I may need that helps to speed up my work process. I made my media kit. Once I got my photos back, I started to curate some of the social media content that I was going to post for when the launch happened. I also put my services together through a platform called Honeybook that helped to codify and consolidate my services so that I can create invoices. I can manage my money flow through that. There are templates, files, all these great things that you can use to customize your projects and interactions with clients. Honeybook is great for that. They are also linked in some of the buttons that are on my website. If you are in the process of rebranding, but maybe you have a one-pager like me, then you can use Honeybook to, or when they click the button, to send them to your project site where they can fill out forms and details and book you for consultations and things like that. So check that out on my website and in the description for the referral so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. My main focus was business operations. Why? Because once the website launches, I want to ensure that there's a streamlined process for whatever services people want to book. I don't want to have to be working on that when somebody books me and prolong their process because I'm not prepared. So if you have new services, you need to align your books, like your accounting books. You need to set up invoicing, like how that is going to work, your email templates, all that great stuff. Honeybook is great, but that's something that you definitely need to go ahead and iron out before you launch your website. And drum roll, please. Y'all head over to LaTrice.com and check out my new website. One pager. Go ahead and scroll down. It's user friendly because I know the girls and the guys like to stroll these days. Not really too much on the push and buttons. And be sure while you're there to subscribe to my newsletter because I'm going to give you all around inside scoop, the family inner circle scoop. That's how you're going to be able to stay in the loop with some of the things that I'm not necessarily broadcasting publicly, but that I want to give to my more intimate family, So be sure to be a part of that. There's a video that I'm going to link in the description. It's unlisted. So if you get to this part of the video, you now have the link that I send to brands, the VIP community on my email newsletter, like those details that really can give you the information about what you can expect from Leslie LATRICE 3.0. So check the description. So I may do a part 2 because I don't know if I answered all the questions or if I even got into the nitty gritty. So if you want a part 2, then let me know in the comments, and also let me know what questions you have about rebrand anything, the website, the design and development process. Put them in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. If you got this far and you haven't subscribed already or liked this video, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and do that. Okay? All right, I will see y'all on my next upload. It is your girl Leslie LATRICE, and remember to always protect your peace. Bye.